Still can't walk very good. I'm still crawling around. So I'm sitting on the floor. It's just a little easier now. Starting to move up in my thighs. Not feeling that great. I don't know if I'm gonna die. So, anyways. Let's hope there's food. I doubt it. No, let's do it this way. Maybe I can. I don't want to get too dirty up in here, so yeah, maybe like that. That's beautiful, I think. Right? Just want to look good. Let's look good. Look around. Yeah. Anyways. Like that. Hopefully it doesn't burn out my lung. We all know that America is an immigrant country, right? It started back in the 1800s when we had an influx of a lot of Irish people and Europeans coming to America. What was it, like 1800s when the Civil War was starting? That's how we recruited a lot of European immigrants to fight for, I think, the northern, honestly, the northern Republican party. I don't want that to burn out my lens. I'm afraid it might. So let's see where that goes. I'm afraid it might burn out my lens. Oh. Thank you. Yeah, I don't want it to burn out my lens. We'll just give it like that. Anyways, yeah. So apparently, if you watch The Gangs of New York, is it The Gangs of New York? Yeah. Martin Scorsese, you'll learn about that history. Now, a lot of like Irish immigrants and people off the boat from Europe joined military during the Civil War. So America has always been an immigrant country, right? To some extent. But we don't have Europeans coming here anymore, really. Especially not in boat droves like they used to. Not even from Ukraine. Right? I mean, we haven't had like a major influx of Ukrainians just fucking like inundate our borders with a bunch of white Europeans, right? Why would they? We already know that Europe is probably a better place to stay than in America. I don't mean to, but why not stay at your parents' mansion or your family's mansion, and then instead of coming to America and starting fresh? If you know what I mean. Does that make sense? Why not stay at your family's, like your family's generational mansion, and then start afresh working as a cashier at Walmart? Yeah, American Dream. It's different, I'm sure, for them. Anyways, not like it used to be. Uh, so there's a changing demographic. I don't really understand why. Yeah, why would Europeans come to America now? They're not struggling like they used to back in the day. So they're actually doing better, even though they have tensions with Russia and all that and all that. But I would say overall, most Europeans probably are doing better than the average American, right? I would think so. Ultimately, maybe not the influx of migrants that come into the country, but ultimately white Europeans. They still maintain control within their countries to some extent, right? You're born there, you grew up there, your family's been there forever, since the beginning of time. Nobody's going to change that just yet. I mean, sure, they're going to tear down some of your statues and your paintings of people they don't like, but ultimately that's not going to erase the families that have built Europe. So in America, we have this belief that, and Europe is just an example of this, all right? Europe is just an example. I would say they model themselves to some degree of America's more liberal political system. You know, more democratic in terms versus more conservative. So, I hate to say that, I know it's controversial, but hear me out. Joe Biden's open door immigration policy. If it was a boatload of fucking white Europeans, I'm sure the Republicans would jump on board, right? Even Russians or Ukrainians, probably. But ultimately, not anyone south of the border, or not anyone coming over the ocean from the east. So it's a lot harder for those people from Asia, like Asian countries, to come over to America versus the people coming across the southern border. So we're going to have more of a large demographic of people from the southern border for the time being. So, and that's a problem for Republicans. They say it's crime, they say it's this, they say it's that. But they said that about the Italians too, and the Irish. So, anyways. So we have this issue called immigration in America. Most controversial thing in the world. Only America would step up to that plate, right? While everybody else would experiment with this concept, this idea. They call it, what do they call it? Globalization, maybe? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know what it is. Immigration, though. Open door, do we do open door? Well, this is what China does. Alright. I heard it has somewhat of an open door policy with its surrounding countries. So, I don't know if that's true. Don't know. But I heard you can take what? A train, a high-speed rail from some Southeast Asian country like Laos or Cambodia straight up to Beijing or some shit. So, yeah, some Chinese high tech, and these migrants go up there and work and do whatever. And, yeah. Who knows? Would Trump do that? Probably not. Would Biden or Obama do that? Probably. You know. Not that we would need that in a real big time of technological advancement. It wouldn't be necessary to have a massive amount of migrant workers. In fact, it would just be better to play Risk at that point. Do you know what I mean? Everyone belongs to America, and we will do whatever we want with this whole Turtle Island thing. This is all America now. Turtle Island, I guess they call it. Back the natives, Native Americans, Turtle Island. This is all the United States of America. All the way down to the very bottom, to the very top. And we get to do whatever the fuck we want with it, alright? And we're gonna give it all to fucking Elon Musk, Tesla, to transform that into the United States of America, Western Hemisphere. This belongs to the king of the world now. And he can do whatever the fuck he wants with it, so. And he's gonna put all that money in the pockets of Elon Musk. And ain't nobody gonna fuck with anything, because it's all under Elon Musk can bust this stuff out. Everybody from South America to the tip of Greenland drives a Tesla at that point. Starlink is just covered. Cities are all AI based and data based off of Tesla. We're talking about Terrell Corporation, like Blade Runner 1982 kind of stuff. So, people in Mexico are living just as American luxury as people in New York City. Just the average Joe. You know, just the average Joe. Is this going to burn out? Yeah. I think so. It's going to burn it out. Let's check that out if we can real quick. Probably not. Anyways, so yeah, this belongs to the king of the world. If you guys want to fight us, this is what the king of the world can do. So anyways, that's an idea. Just under like putting money in Elon Musk's pocket and saying, yeah, Tesla Corporations runs the United States of the Western Hemisphere of America. So, anyways, that's a different story, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. China's already ahead of the curve on that, right? China. Getting its Southeast Asian partners up to par. Y'all want to come to Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, North Korea, what's next? I don't know. If India wants to play the game, let's say if India wants to play the game. Ain't nobody gonna fuck with India then, right? You guys wouldn't be like throwing your dead bodies in the Ganges River still and shitting on the streets. You're sitting on electric toilets, living in on a high-tech AI steel-built apartments that are all Lux, processed in China. I don't know, security risks, everybody says security risks, blah, blah, blah. That's up to you. That's up to you. Do you want Starlink, Tesla, or is it practical for America to go over there and save your ass? Probably not. We got our own side of the world. All of it belongs to us now. Even the Caribbean. You ever want to come to the Caribbean? We know you Indians love it there. So, you want to invest? I'm sure you do. Invest in what? Chinese electric toilets or Tesla electric toilets. You do you. So. Little too late. Anyways. So that's one theory I have. But that's probably far into the future, I guess. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, I'm sure, right? So, say for instance, I was in charge of the not the United States, but I wanted to overhaul shit in my own hometown of Salina, Kansas. Say I was like, I don't know, talking to the big head honcho in town. I said, yo, hooray. Mr. Hooray. I have an idea. I don't know if you're gonna like it though. You'll probably scrap it. You probably think it's the dumbest idea you've ever heard. But God forbid you probably have heard stupider in your lifetime. Ones that probably would make you look like a fool if people found out shit, you know? But anyways. I'll say, Mr. Hooray, I got this great idea. It might like really polish up shit, like really good about Salina. Like Salina would be on the map for like internationally known for something really cool. I don't know, it's just an idea. I'm gonna swing it by you real quick. I don't want to sound like a complete lunatic or anything, but who knows? Let's see. The parking lot looks like shit, right, everyone? Let's see, do we have leaves stuck in there again? Are the leaves stuck in there? Damn, at least they got those leaves out. Let's look at Debbie's place. Still hasn't changed much, I'm sure. That's, yeah. Don't worry, I can spot her out. She has it right in front of her window. She screams Debbie right there, her name, to the whole world. So that's how I know her. Didn't know her before her name, but now I do. Sorry, I can't walk over there and show you. It's all in pink letters. I'm sure if you look at Google Maps, you can find it. When I could walk over there, I'd see it every day. Debbie. I think it's spelled Debby. I don't really pay attention to that shit. I never did until now. Yeah, I don't get to go out much. Oh, goddamn, I'm hungry, though. Goddamn, I'm hungry. I wish I could access my funds to pay shit off. God, I hate to feel like a fucking loser and act like I just like had a mental ill breakdown after my legs went to shit and they locked down all my accounts and now I'm homeless. I think I can fashion one of these fucking crate boxes with some wheels if I can find it, and scoot my ass down to the bank and try to explain to them, because I know OCCK will not give me a ride. Actually, I'd probably be banned after this. Yeah. I can see this causing a big controversy. One that'll probably throw the city into a loop right now. So anyways, no more of that illegal criminal bullshit going on, I'll tell you that. Dirty deeds done dirt cheap. Yeah. So anyways, I think I'm done smoking cigarette butts. Let me show you the brand so you can go and get them from me later. Sorry, I'm just Asian like that. So us Asian folks, we love to smoke our cigarettes. Oh, we love it. Sorry. We smoke in the bathrooms too, in public places. It's so Asian. Yakuza's. Make sure you get. Yeah, advertisement for. It's all backwards. Alright. I'm sure you have it somewhere in your video files as to get these. There are local Salina stores. So, yeah. Over there by, I don't want to call them out just in case I might get in trouble. I don't know. But yeah, I thought it was legal. I don't know. I was buying it at that store. So, yep. I hope it's legal. I don't know. Cigarette. Smoked them all. So, yeah. Real easy brand. Cost you about like $10 for a carton. $10, something like that. 11, $10 for like, how many? Like 10 packs. So 20 cigarettes coming. Is it 20 or 10? 20. It's got to be like 20. I should stop. But I'm so Asian. I'm so Asian. Anyways. Let's talk about the changing demographics of America and immigration politics and stuff we should have discussed in high school and solved in the 1990s, and now we're dealing with that bullshit. So, anywho, as I boot, scoot, and boogie, because I can't really feel my legs. Can't really feel them anymore. They're moving up through here. So, God forbid I have to be amputated, but I don't know. Did some if you saw my last video last night, it was a night video. Heard my owls hooting in the background. I couldn't find them. Can go out there and summon them down. I wanted to get them on footage and shit, but it just wouldn't come out. So They just wouldn't come out. They just wouldn't come out. I guess they were scared. Seeing me like that. Probably were sad. Really sad. Oh my goodness. My junk fell out. I guess that's what happens when you boot, scoot, and boogie. Sorry. I know I'm a mess today. I have to clean up, but what does it matter, right? If ain't anybody gonna give me a fucking pizza from Pizza Hut. Hey. Let's see. I screwed something up real quick. Let me fix it. There we go. Let's see if that works here. Oh, shit. Sorry, when you're retarded, it's a lot harder to move about. It's a little bit more embarrassing. But anyways, let's get this show on the road real quick. Let James get his coffee and everything else because he's thirsty. Because he hasn't eaten much in a while. And Koreans believe that if you drink a lot of water, it's because you're hungry. I guess that's why they drink a lot of soups. You ever see an Asian drink a soup out of like a hand bowl? It looks like a little hand bowl. They'll drink it like it's a little teacup, but it's soup. I think it's so elegant, so classy. One time I knew a white dude, all right? I used to work with him. And I said something like, what do you think about like Asian table etiquette? And he said it looks so elegant. I never looked at it like that. Can you imagine Americans trying to use chopsticks all the time? Please. So clumsy. I can't imagine. Let's get this show on the road, kids. I just want to make sure you guys don't think I'm sitting here drinking liquor all day, because I don't like liquor. Coffee. Can you see it? Is that coffee? Yeah. Sorry. What a mess I've created for you guys to see. How embarrassing. The coffee. Like they say, when you're hungry, Asians say when you're hungry, you probably drink a lot of liquids. So, I guess I did not know this. We're just going to start with Chinese, all right? Chinese. I had no clue they used all these things right here. These little things. And you know what they're called? Do you know what they're called? Because most Americans don't. It's a linguistic thing. So I'm not looking at the Chinese lettering, all right? We're looking at the English, all right? The English translation. And when you look at it, these are not standard American English writings, right? But you know they're English, right? They're the Romanized alphabet, right? to some degree, right? Um, things like this, the accent aigu, or is a diacritical mark used in French exclusively over the letter. It changes the sound of the letter to a closed I sound, similar to the I in English word day, but shorter. All right. So, anyways, yeah, diacritical marks. These symbols on top of letters are called diacritical or diacritical marks, and people often loosely call them accent marks, right? Uh, they change how a letter sounds, show which part of a word, or tell you how to say a tone. So that's like the International Phonetic Alphabet, I think. Yeah. So you know what they sound like. Basically, just the sounds we make, right? So anyways, uh, the United States is headed towards a majority-minority future. Projections show that the non-Hispanic white population dropping below 50% around 2045, driven by lower birth rates, an aging population, and rising growth among Hispanic, Asian, and multicultural groups. Younger generations are already more diverse than older cohorts. So, everybody's going to be mixed here pretty soon, right? Even the white people in America. So you're going to have Hispanic people with names like, I don't know, Johnson. Or you might have Asian mixed, um, Hispanic white, native, and they're all American people. And they're all going to be named, I don't know, Robertson. Let's just go Robertson, yeah. So you're going to have all these mixed Americans running around. Nothing like the world has ever seen. Named Johnson. Some multiracial person named with an English name like Johnson. Anyways, Kansas Wesleyan University offers a Bachelor of Arts BA in Criminal Justice through the Department of Criminal Justice and Emergency Management. The program provides flexible online and hybrid courses, scheduled hands-on training via an Emergency Operations Center, EOC, and preparation for careers in law enforcement, legal services, and corrections. So Kansas Wesleyan does that. Love Kansas Wesleyan. Great school. All right. All right. That's probably that changed. All right. Men's soccer. We already know about Kansas Wesleyan and men's soccer. They love soccer there. I don't know which one is like more popular there, but I definitely think soccer is like the most popular sport at Kansas Wesleyan. I can't play it. I used to like playing hacky sack, but soccer, like I can't do it. It's that's like people who are from around the world. They're pretty good at it. So, yeah, I thought the Mexican football team did a great job out there. Out in the parking lot. So, and they didn't have to clean up all that shit. Anyways, that little spot still looks great though. I haven't seen it look great like that. Mexican football team, so. But, yeah. I don't think they had to do it to that extent, though. That looked great for like, what, a week? Anyways. got this weird fly. Anyways,
Equipo de fútbol mexicano de la Universidad Kansas Wesleyan, campeones de la Copa Mundial de la FIFA. Equipo de fútbol mexicano de la Universidad Kansas Wesleyan, campeones de la Copa Mundial de la FIFA. Equipo de fútbol mexicano de la Universidad Kansas Wesleyan, campeones de la Copa Mundial de la FIFA.
so yeah, I bet the Mexican football team is pretty good at that shit. I bet they've been playing that shit since they were kids. I couldn't imagine Salina, Kansas, like being on the map for like the best recruiters on the international football team for FIFA.
Becas y vías aceleradas de estudio para obtener títulos en justicia penal e inglés como segundo idioma para futbolistas mexicanos en la Universidad Kansas Wesleyan. Becas y vías aceleradas de estudio para obtener títulos en justicia penal e inglés como segundo idioma para futbolistas mexicanos en la Universidad Kansas Wesleyan. Becas y vías aceleradas de estudio para obtener títulos en justicia penal e inglés como segundo idioma para futbolistas mexicanos en la Universidad Kansas Wesleyan.
So, anyways, I thought they did a great job, the Mexican football team. So, I'm sure they have kids too, and probably a lot of kids that they work really hard to support. So, they probably go down to the emergency aid food bank and get broccoli, like bags and bags of broccoli. I don't even know if they eat that. I'm sure like Mamacita comes up with like really cool like recipes for, I don't know, broccoli tamales stuff with like spiced chicken or pork. I don't know. Who knows? A Mexican foods division of Schwann's company. Who knows? But yeah, why not? Why not? Let's do that. Scholarship and scholastics, Kansas Wesleyan. Why don't we just invest in some Washburn division of law and criminal justice and build that into their. Those are those dirty little bot flies that like to eat human flesh and blood. But oh God, get away from me. What was I talking? Yeah, a division like the KU Med School in Salina, Washburn Law Division. Some of the best lawyers. So, fast track, whatever. They're English speaking bilingual children into educational lawyer degrees. So, anyways, nothing like a demographic, a racial demographic that understands two different cultures, two different languages, English and Spanish. And anyways, yeah. During a changing demographic in the United States. that is uncontrollable at this point. We know. We understand that. Whatever you guys want to do, it's not going to resolve the issue. But you do you. All right? Let's go on.
Departamento de Justicia Latina de Salina. Departamento de Justicia Latina de Salina. Departamento de Justicia Latina de Salina. Departamento de Justicia Latina de Salina.
Okay. Okay. Now we know. All right. If you can't speak Spanish, that's your problem. So, let's go on to the next one. So we have this thing called OCCK or OCCK Transportation or Salina City Go. I ain't gonna lie. It's the most stressful thing one of the most stressful things I've ever experienced. Not just for me. I felt bad for the bus drivers. I do. They're under a lot of stress. I feel bad for them. I do. I'm sorry. Everybody knows bus driving is not an easy job. It's not. We should give them more credit for what they do. So, anyhow, I'm sure not everybody understands that. Unless you're on the plant floor, you know. Not everybody drives a Porsche to work. But anyhow. Self-driving bus systems use sensors, cameras, and AI software to move people along fixed public paths without a full-time human driver. Cities test these electric shuttles and large buses to lower high labor costs, fix driver shortages, and keep transit running smoothly. How the technology works. Sensors and maps. Buses use LIDAR, radar, and 360-degree cameras to find cars, bikes, and people on the road. Control levels, move public test models, use level 3 or level 4 autonomy. This means the bus driver drives itself, but a safety driver or remote center can take over in an emergency. Smart deep ports. Yards use automation to park, clean, and change buses by themselves when the day ends. Real-world uses and pilots. Global trials, companies like Carson run autonomous pilot routes in Europe, Asia, and North America. Specialized systems, guided autonomous rapid transit uses. All right, so we can go into this. All right, so yeah. So we have like Tesla corporations, right? Elon Musk. We already know he's like America's like golden child when it comes to tech. So say we just put a bunch of money in his pocket and say build a dark factory that can do that shit. But what we'd need is like maybe 1 or 2 bus drivers on there. All right. They don't have to do anything. They just have to make sure everything's running smooth. They're not stressed out. And they have whatever mechanisms they need to have and make sure it's just secure in place. And it does whatever it has to do. Just make sure that everything's okay. They don't have to drive down the road real fast and swing everybody to the corner because everybody in Salina is like speeding past each other. I can't imagine doing that from like 5 o'clock in the morning to like 9, 10 o'clock at night. Oh my God. I'd lose my hair every day. And some of these old men, I don't know. They're as old as my dad doing this all fucking day. Listening to the Mormon Tabernacle with like crazy, like handicapped people and mentally ill people and people with other problems, disabled people. I can't imagine a man as old as my father not having that much responsibility on their hands and not just like in front of everybody. My heart goes out to you, sir. Much respect. And the girl that busts her ass day and night. I mean, trying to lift the 300-pound disabled guy into the back of the bus. Threatening her, telling her if his leg gets caught, he's gonna sue her and she'll lose her job. I can't imagine. Anyway. Given the fact that his only mental capacity at that point is like maybe a 10-year-old. I don't know. What you gonna do? Throw him in jail? I guess. We already know he's a whack job who can't move his legs. He's been living in Salina his whole fucking goddamn life. Everybody knows him. How many times you need a mugshot at this point? Autonomous rapid systems. So autonomous rapid systems, ART, like, yeah, you can read through it. So. I don't want to read through it, but we want to focus on this one right here. Because I don't know if railroad is a good idea given the snow and the weather conditions. But definitely electric roads is the focus. So, yeah, hey, Elon Musk, you want a couple $1 billion in your pocket? Learn how to build those to perfection, all right? Salina wants to test run these pilots real quick until you perfect them. We want to be like your biggest supporters in this. So do it with a bunch of dark factory equipment. I'm sure Donald Trump and them can put in your pocket for you, just in case anything like needs to be fixed later on. I don't know. But anyways, China is expanding self-driving public transit with level 4 autonomous buses in cities like Shenzhen, Wuhan, and Chengdu, while models like the Panda bus include lower floor entry and dedicated wheelchair spaces. Automated transits for disabled passengers remain in early implementation phases along parallel human-operated accessible van services. So. America's ahead of the curve, I think, in that. Maybe. I don't know. I don't really see too many disabled Asian people out in public. Not like in America. So, yeah. Can you imagine Stephen Hawking in China? Yeah. Hey Elon, can you do this? Computerized or smart roads use embedded sensors like fiber optics and artificial intelligence to transform traditional asphalt into digital data networks. These systems monitor traffic flow, detect accidents instantly, communicate with autonomous vehicles, and streamline emergency response times. So it does all this like crazy shit. Yeah, it totally melts snow too, I think, like on the dot. So snow is just like gone, I'm sure, and it can get pushed into the Smoky Hill River and cleaned out that way. So I don't know how it works. I'm sure Elon Musk is smarter than me. He knows how to do this shit better than me. It's just an idea I'm throwing his way. Yeah, electric roads. I don't know, but I know like they're really cool, and they do like really futuristic stuff. So, um, but imagine, like I don't know if you've ever seen like a map of Salina. Let's just look at a map of Salina. Salina, Kansas. So, yeah. I don't know if you need, but it's just, yeah, it looks like that. Like this is the city, and then all this over here, I don't know what the fuck it is, like wheat fields or some shit. Hell, I don't know. Nothing. Just absolute, like, just. You can, after you get out of here, you're like, I don't know where you're at. Somewhere in, like, I don't know, Wizard of Oz. I don't know. One time I drove this way and ended up, like, I was driving this way, Elon. And somewhere I ended up, like, at some leprechaun's house. It was weird. I don't know. I don't know. But if you don't believe me, that's fine. I'm not being, like, crazy. But then one time I went to visit a friend and driving this way. Same way where I had seen the leprechaun, like visited a leprechaun. And but it was raining really, really bad, and I saw this huge rainbow, and it was covering my windshield. And all of a sudden, I started seeing gold coins falling on my windshield. A rainbow and gold coins, just and but it was like rain, water, and gold coins. So I don't know. I don't know what it was. Crazy, mentally ill, right? I don't know. But anyways, this is all like I don't know, nothing. You could hide dead people all over here and nobody would even know. So everything happens right here. Dead people could be like all over here and nobody would even fucking know. Nobody would fucking know. So let's go back. So electric roads. I don't know. Just give Elon a bunch of money to figure that shit out. Bus stop sensors and alert systems use GPS radar and ID badge scanners to track passenger boarding and detect people at stops and send real-time arrival updates to riders or fleet managers. These two tools improve pickup safety, reduce wait time, and prevent missed stops. So I don't know how that works, but maybe you can ask OCCK. This is just if I was throwing these ideas to the big head honcho in town, Mr. Hooray! Yeah, once again. All right. Here's the good one. Here's the kicker. Can self-driving public buses lock itself down and drive to policing facilities under security threats? Yes. Self-driving public buses can technically be engineered to lock their doors and navigate to a police facility during a severe security threat. But current public transit systems do not feature this in a standard autonomous capability due to legal safety and liability risks. So, yeah. Yeah. Those OCCK bus drivers, they're so stressed out. I can't imagine crazy people on that bus. Poor, poor bus drivers. Poor bus drivers. It's really stressful. I understand. I understand. I don't like driving in Salina either. I hate it. I bet if they had like a little control room in this like self-driving bus, and all you had to do is just watch and monitor how everything is operated. Just stand back and people come and go and pick up wheelchairs. All you have to make sure is just watch, make sure everything's okay. So, and then you sit back in your chair, and the bus drives on a electric road built by all built by Elon Musk's Tesla Corporation. Just going all over Salina, all over Salina. These like little roads built out of wherever around and through weird parts of Salina that nobody goes to. So, um, so Elon Musk goes to China. All right, he's like, "How do you do this?" And China's like, "We can show you how we do it, but I know it's not going to work in America." And Elon's like, "But just can you give me like the blueprint, like just how you do it a little bit?" And China's like, "We'll work with you. We'll work with you on this." And we're into this idea called China Win-Win Cooperation. Gangyi is a core foreign and economic policy framework introduced heavily under President Xi Jinping. It is presented as an alternative to zero-sum Cold War Western dominant diplomacy aimed instead for mutual economic benefits, shared regional integration, and joint development goals. All right. So we know there's tension between us and China, right? It sucks, right? So we're building all these like retarded robots to fight each other at some point, right? Oh no, nothing like a Tesla robot beating the shit out of a Xiaomi robot. All right, so China doesn't have the exact blueprint to do, I don't know, Salina, Kansas. All right, it's like Salina, Kansas. Like, how much snow was there last time? Well, like 10 feet. Well, we have that in Harbin or whatever, but we don't have a busing system there, all right? Or especially autonomous one. How much does it flood there? All the fucking time. All the fucking time it floods. Everybody drowns. The whole town gets wiped out, and we have to bring in like new Mexicans from the border to live here. So it's like every 10 years we have to repopulate in Salina with Mexicans across the border. But China doesn't know what to do with that problem. But Elon Musk has lived in America long enough to understand the climate and the demographics and the politics and the bullshit. Um, so, China, if we can build a better product, say American way, and you guys have this technology, and if shit gets better between us in the future, you want to work on getting to Mars quicker. So, anyways, we need a base in the moon too. We have the American technology, but we just don't know how the Chinese do that part. Future political diplomacy, China win-win cooperation. Yang is a core foreign and economic policy framework introduced heavily under Xi Jinping. So, who knows where the future would lead us, right? What better place to experiment than a place like Salina, Kansas, where people like safety, security, and just like a all-American true hometown. That's what we like. I don't know. That's how I feel. I don't mind flock cameras everywhere. I don't mind Starlink hardcore on Salina. I'm sure a lot of people don't want it. I'm sure they have a big gripe with it. But if, like, the ragtag fucking petty criminals know that the current status quo of the Justice Department is flawed and corrupt and needs to be overhauled by a more reliable demographic of people that can clock the bullshit every time before it happens and have the resources to do it properly and efficiently and cleanly, not based on the color of their skin. Because if you don't accept me, I know you don't accept them. I'm about as white as they get. So, anyways, call me high yellow. An egg, yeah. Do you know what that means? Not a Twinkie, but an egg. White on the outside, yellow on the inside. But anyways, Elon, talk to Grimes. You don't have to marry her. She's just smart as fuck. I know she's smart as fuck. Girl's a genius. Anyways, you don't have to be lovers. Just run the idea through her, you know? See, oh, wow, Elon, why don't you do that? We'll see where America goes with that. And then you go back to Trump. I'm sorry. Not that Trump doesn't come first, but just to kind of clear up the plan, make it polished before you put it on the boss's desk. You don't want to go with him with a messy term paper. I'm sure she's smart enough to clear up your mistakes. So you don't become a worldwide success in America from Canada. Because you're not smart. So just like you want to make sure the boss has a clean plan before he knows what's going on before he But anyways, I know I shouldn't be talking like that. I would never give my teacher a messy term paper. I tried not to, especially if I knew my smart girlfriend or whatever knew how to write a better one better than me and could do revisions and teach me how to do it right and then give it to the teacher. So he's impressed. I don't know, that's just me. I want to do a good job. I don't want to get into bureaucratic bullshit. So anyways, bye.